Okay, now we're recording this. All right. Email sent. Maybe she'll join us. All right. So what types of key activities do you think I would need?
Okay, so let me get back to this list. Manufacturing needs, supply chain,
That's
sale
mostly.
process.
Sorry, what was that?
Sale process. We already both need website development. Materials acquisition, mostly for service-based businesses, which would be mine.
I'm actually offering a service to one of my customer segments. So what type of material acquisition? I don't know that I know what that even really is.
See, and I just don't need a lot of stuff like that. I go in and try and work with customers in their home and offer solutions with things that they already own. So I don't really have materials or anything that I bring to my customers.
Right.
So I feel like mine is more website, and another thing I really need to figure out is my customers.
Sorry, you cut out on that one. I lost you. The other thing I need to figure out
is my sale process, how I go about charging my customers. I haven't figured any of that out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that...
Have you looked at your competitors and what they are?
I have. Yeah. I just don't know if people will pay me what they pay other people. So, but I don't know if that's a key activity. What do they mean by sale process?
Is that in our book?
It's under the key activities. It was one of the things, yeah, that they were talking about this week. And it says they can vary on your business, so that it won't, like supply chain. Do you have supply chain things that you have to work on with your plants? I mean, where do you get all your starts?
Most everything I will be starting by seeds. There's a website that I found that I really wish I had been using all these years while I've been gardening myself, because it's like the materials that I'd be buying are like 1/10 of the price I've been buying them elsewhere. It's really frustrating. So there, I've discovered, okay, this business plan is actually profitable if I order through this company. At least, not seed-wise. Seed-wise, but like, I have to go as far as thinking about, these little planting trays. How much are each of those going to cost me each time I sell a plant? Because they come in plastic little containers, and I can't just take the dirt out and hand them a wad of dirt. So I don't think they'd go over very well. That's coming from a distributor. Where does it talk about these in the book? Do you know?
Yeah, let's see. I don't have my book. It starts on page 200, I think.
Yeah. We'll just look for a definition of each of these terms. Because I read through them, there's nowhere that I was finding it actually saying supply chain.
see if it's
I
in.
didn't read through all of it, but it ain't due until Saturday, so of course I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. I'm surprised Andrea's not here yet. Aha. She's getting on now. That's kind of funny. I don't like this book, by the way.
Yeah, it's hard to maneuver.
I don't find it informative enough to my... And it gives you good ideas, but do we not have any Udacity videos this week?
No. No, they weren't in there. Try to see. Oh.
Okay, so let's go through and just define these then, since I can't find those. Manufacturing needs is what... Let's see if I can just look up a definition.
Okay, so...
What are manufacturing needs?
Well, that would just be if you had an actual product you're selling. That's what I take away from it.
Which is what I have.
Mm-hmm. So
what manufacturing needs, is that talking about what things I need to make my product?
Yeah.
Need seeds and dirt.
Yep.
Simple enough, right?
Pretty much. Yep.
Now, do you think that would include the actual trays that I need, or do you think that, well, okay, that would include the trays for 1 point, but a supply chain, we have Andrea. Hi, Andrea.
Hey, sorry I'm so late.
That's okay.
Has anyone done theirs yet?
We've just kind of been chatting back and forth about each other's ideas.
Okay.
Do you want to pitch us your business?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You want to tell us about your business idea, and we'll
Yes, yeah. I'm almost got mine up here. Okay, so my business idea that I'm doing, I work with insurance, and I have a lot of insurance agents. They spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month on leads that they get from the internet or from other places. And these leads are often fake information, or it's just inaccurate, or it's people who really don't care for insurance quote. They just build something out online. So what my business idea is to send people door to door so that you get that more personal interaction. Workers would be trained to only get the information if the person is actually interested in the quote. And they would work as hard as they can to get accurate information. People aren't always honest, but they would try and get the accurate information. They would bring the lead back to the company, and we would verify as much of the information as we can. So phone number, address, household information. We would try and verify it as much as we can to make sure it's correct. And then we would take these leads and sell them to the insurance agents so they could follow up on it and, try and sell insurance. So that would be
interesting idea.
Yeah. And in my experience, door knocking leads are pretty good close rate. It seems to be better than just when people fill stuff out online. So that's kind of my general idea. Have you guys been asking questions or just giving feedback?
We're trying to figure out which questions, we're trying to figure out which questions to be asking this week, because I usually base my questions on what the material is for the current week. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out right before you got on, what our questions should be based around. And we thought that they should be based around key activities, which is what our focus is for week 7.
Yeah.
So I guess I am kind of wondering what questions we should be asking as we talk to people.
Well, maybe I've been asking the same questions each week just because I'm for my, what do you call it? So I can gather the information and then I ask comments and stuff. So wrong, and I haven't necessarily been asking week.
The only reason I have is because I've been asking, like last week, I asked several people that I already talked to before, so I needed to switch up the questions. But before that, I was only talking to new people, and then so I was just using my same spiel, but I've kind of run out of people. So now I'm starting over, and now I need some new questions to ask them.
That makes sense.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
So I guess, Andrea, tell me, you go ahead and just ask us questions, and we'll just answer whatever questions you have.
Okay. I do just have a couple. So I guess my first one is, if you were some kind of sales agent, insurance agent, whatever, is this something that you would buy so that you don't have to go find your own leads?
How much are you planning on charging per lead?
Well, that's my next question after this one.
Yes, if I would, especially if they're solid leads that I know can lead somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then, so how much would you pay for the lead?
What's the going rate?
So we typically pay anywhere from $4 to like $25 for a lead, depending on, how quality it is and whether it's a preferred lead or it's just a non-standard lead where, we're not going to be very competitive or, things like that. And some people have asked so give it perspective. Say we had a lead where they're just buying car insurance and, so their premium is $1,200 a year. We would make about $120 off of that policy.
Okay. So then I would probably be willing to pay someone $10 for that lead.
Okay.
I was thinking about $7 to $10. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe a percentage, maybe 10%. I don't know. Yeah. Based on what I get for, like you said, whatever type of insurance. Maybe it just should be a percentage of that type of insurance.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and percentage would be doing a lot better. Yeah, percentage you'd be doing a whole lot better, I think.
Yeah, it could definitely make a difference in the price.
It would be easy. I think it would be great to be able to say, okay, this is a car insurance policy. This is the flat rate that we charge for that, or this is the percentage. So that there's no, it could be 4, it could be 10, it could be 20. This is just the flat rate we pay for. We ask for this type of insurance, this type of insurance, this type of insurance, and just have it. I don't know. Just seems like it would be an easy way to market it.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you had this company, how much would you pay the door knockers per lead that they got if, they met the minimum requirements of the necessary?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. You don't think you have to more?
In our experience, door knockers typically get about 2 leads per hour. So, I mean, it depends on how fast they're knocking on doors and, you know, how many people say yes, but that's kind of been the general thing we've seen.
Could they get a percentage too of signed, you know, anybody that follows through, could they get a percentage of it? Because, I mean, theoretically, that could end really well for them.
Yeah.
So you get a percentage, and then they get a percent of your percentage or whatever.
Okay.
Thoughts? I don't know what I'd pay, but
no, good thoughts.
Yeah, so is it better then to work as a commission type program with the door knockers?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some people, they'll pay either $10 per lead or $10 per hour, whichever is more, so that the person's getting at least something, whether they get, so they're, you know, they're still making money, the job.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it doesn't eat all your profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those were all my questions. Do you guys have, you know, thoughts on it, or I guess in regards to this week, key activities that you think?
So what are your key activities?
My key activities that I have so far is to get the funding to hire the door knockers, because I have to have employees or I don't have anything. And then I have to get permits and licenses. So, you know, in cities, you have to have a permit to go door-to-door selling. And then training, and then talking to agents and getting a customer base.
Okay, so you have to do all those before you open business, because that's what it's asking. What are your key activities to get your business started right away? So I'm just wondering if, because the customers, those will come as your people are knocking on the doors, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the customers would be the insurance agents buying the leads.
I see. Okay. All right. That makes sense. So you're going to have those set up before you even start business. You want those people ready to buy whatever leads you have.
Yeah, at least a small number. But then I also got to get the door knockers out there, because if they don't get out there, then I don't have any inventory to sell.
Yeah. How do you approach the insurance agents? I mean, do you just cold call them, or do you just go in and talk to them?
I would probably go in and talk to them, but also make it like a word of mouth. You know, agents that are happy with my service, you know, hopefully get referrals from them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a really interesting business. I've never heard of that before. So
it's different. If I didn't work in the insurance industry, I'm sure I wouldn't have thought about it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just 1 second.
So, okay. So what other questions do you have for us?
Something I have been asking people is, as a consumer, as someone, you know, just living somewhere, if you had someone come up to your door that they look professional, they're courteous, have the company name on their shirt, how likely are you to give your information for a quote?
Good question.
Sorry, what was that last question? I had it.
The question was, as like a consumer, if someone came to your door looking professional, courteous, having the logo on their shirt, would you be willing to give your information for a quote?
I don't answer my door, so.
It depends on what information they're wanting.
So, you know, the basic information that we ask for is name, phone number, date of birth, and address. And then depending on what kind of quote you want, if you want car insurance, we'd ask for year, make, and model of your cars. If you're looking for home insurance, then yeah.
Thought, and you working in the insurance agency, you probably could possibly deal with this. Most of the time, if I have an insurance company asking for, a lead, I won't give it to them anymore because they don't leave me alone, and they pester the crap out of me. And I tell them, don't call back, and then I get junk mail. And I get to the point of, well, I'm never going to sign up with them because they're so dang annoying. Even if I am looking for an insurance, I'm going elsewhere. Is that a type of situation you can avoid?
Yes, that I've thought a little bit about that. I don't know exactly how I'd implement it, but I'd want, my contract that I have with my insurance agents, my customers, I'd want something saying, that you're going to be compliant, that if someone asks you to stop calling, you have to stop calling. And if they don't agree to that, then, we're not going to sell to them. So yeah, I do want to do something along those lines. I haven't figured out exactly what to kind of make sure they comply. Maybe.
Okay, so what if it's a system that they bought into instead of necessarily, or they pay per lead, but it's a system that they buy into that is a computer program or web-based program that you use that somehow you can remove it if you find out that they don't want you, they want the client, the person at the door doesn't want them to call anymore. Instead of just handing them, a piece of paper saying, here's a lead.
Yeah, we could develop like a CRM.
Yeah.
That they could go in to access the information, and then if they break the rules or the client or the homeowner or whatever calls to complain, then we could, block that agent from seeing it. Or
theoretically, if you're going door to door anyways, you're making contact with that person. You could leave them with information saying, this is our contract with our agencies. If you want your name removed ever because they're harassing you, essentially, you can go to this website and say, remove my account. Anyway, I'm thinking further into this than you probably really wanted me to.
Well, this is all good stuff because it's possible, that I'm going to be asked this later or that I'll have to figure it out. So it's good stuff.
What agency do you work for? Did you say you worked for an agency now, Andrea?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you work for?
Farmers Insurance.
They're the ones that wouldn't leave me alone.
There's definitely some agents who, just choose to keep calling, and that's definitely on them.
They finally stopped. Finally.
Yeah.
And where are you located? What state are you in?
I'm in Utah.
Hey, me too. Maybe it was your agency. I actually used to work for a body shop, so I know quite a few of the agencies in the area. What area in Utah are you?
So like Utah County, Alpine.
Okay, I didn't know many of Utah County. I knew more of Salt Lake stuff, but I don't work for the body shop anymore, so I've lost touch with everyone. But
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was off topic.
Anyway, do you want me to give you feedback about yours at all?
Yeah. Mine is a garden shop that specializes in exotic, thank you for that word, sorry, exotic type plants, more of the stuff that you can't just go to like a normal type garden store like, Lowe's or Home Depot or even your garden store down the street and find. And so I'm going to specialize in, you know, like giant sunflowers, because those you can't buy at plant stores. And I'm going to actually sell the starts, not just the seeds. So there'll be plant starts that you can take home and plant. They're ready to plant in the ground. Other types of, you know, even vegetables, flowers, and stuff that can potentially grow, you know, in the summer and the fall. Most things don't grow in the winter here, but if I'm doing a mail order. Oh, that's something I was going to say to you, Lisa, is that eventually my program will be mail order, so I can do, you know, year-round eventually, because things in Utah don't grow in the... Anyway, so that's kind of my business plan. And I'm having trouble bigger than I had ever anticipated with it. I kind of have already started this little business, but it was going to be a lot smaller than what this class is requiring me to go with it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Is it valuable? Is it valuable to you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't personally garden, but my husband loves to garden, loves all that stuff, and starts are really good. I think that's a really good point, because seeds are sometimes hard to get started and don't always take off.
Exactly.
So if you've got the plant start, then it gives them a head start there. And I think mail order is great because, I mean, Utah's fine, but like you said, there's a limited growing season. And if you did mail order, then you'd be able to reach so many more customers, especially those that live in warmer places. Are you going to have plants that aren't necessarily native to Utah? Like maybe have plants from other countries?
Yeah, I've actually thought about that as well. There's a lot of things that you can grow here, and they allow you to grow it, because it's, you know, there's some plants that you're not supposed to grow in certain areas because they can bring new adaptations to Utah or whatever, but most plants, you know, you can grow wherever you want because they're rare here.
Yeah.
That's what I want to specialize in. I have friends from other countries or other areas that, you know, oh, I can't ever find this plant here. I could back home, or plants that we can find here and they move away and, oh, I wish I could find this. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I happened onto this idea by accident last year.
Well, I think it's a really good one, and you could even get into the international market and of at least importing, you know, you could have customers too, but importing plants from other countries. And
not a good idea.
So what's something that would be important to you if you went to a website for this type of a store? What do you want to see on a website?
I guess my first thought was, if you have a large inventory, are you going to have a really good search feature, or am I going to just see so many options that I'm just going to be overwhelmed and not even know where to start?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even thought of that, the search feature. I mean, right now I'm so small. I offer one plant right now. How little it is.
So
actually,
I'm thinking down the road, but
I was in church on Sunday, and the teacher in my Relief Society class had this awesome plant, and I'm like, I should sell that. That would be awesome.
I would think I would look for, since I'm such a new gardener, I would like to know what plants, and I think I've said this before to you when we were talking about it, what plants grow well next to each other. So I know how to plant my plants so that they thrive. So
you'd like to know what, what will help another plant grow, because they're, oftentimes you can plant an herb right next to something else and it'll help.
Right.
This other plant is stronger.
Like a basic schematic of just a basic, here, this is what you need to get started. You need this many plants, and then plant them next to this, and just, just a really basic how-to guide of how I would start and what plants I would need and what would work well together. And you could do like a salsa garden or an herb garden or a, meat and potato garden. You just different types of gardens that people are seeking after.
Yeah, and another kind of for my customer segments, I've thought about, I'm going to do residential, and then I thought about, what about businesses? There's a lot of businesses out there that have flower boxes out front, and so I can sell to them as well. And to break that up into, different customer segments, most businesses aren't going to want to take the time to either design or physically plant the flowers or whatever. So I've thought about offering a service or even outsourcing this service to a landscaper of planting these for me.
That's a good idea.
Plant them.
I think that's really smart. You could even sell your supply to landscaping companies. That could be another customer segment. And I agree with the how-to section. Giving people another reason to come to your website is not just the product, but how do I do this? And you could start basic and expand it to just about everything gardening.
Right. And I've actually thought about, as well, doing a blog about, different experiences I'm having, how to do this, how-to guides, like you guys are talking about. And my whole business plan is going to be based off of, I'm not going to sell a plant to anyone until I know enough information about this plant to feel like they can grow it without a problem if they follow my, if they follow the, the guidelines I give them. It's going to do fine if this, and this. And here's information about it. This is what'll kill it. This is what, this is the problems that's going to come up with it. Anyway, I just don't want to sell a plant unless I know about it. Yeah. And well researched about it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, that's research and development right there. I've got another one.
There you go.
Hey, real quick, guys. I'm kind of sorting my interviews by industry that people work in. What do you guys work in?
I am in the airline industry.
Okay.
I am, oh God, what do you want to call me? I'm an entrepreneur.
There you go, that works.
I am actually a machine. I don't even know what to call my industry. I'm in the auto industry. We'll just put it that way. I build cars.
Awesome.
I do kind of whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. So anyway, right, Lisa, your turn.
Okay. So my business, Andrea, I have a home organization business. My mantra is life edited is what my thing is. And I promote going into people's homes and organizing and reducing clutter and teaching people how to live with less if that's what they want, or if not, helping them organize their homes so that they can be more productive in their homes. It is a service industry, or service business. I do have a website, and so this is what I was talking with Hallie about, that my key activity right now is beefing up my website so that it is more my advertising, so that I can just lead people to my website, especially through social media, because I have a lot of contacts through that. I feel like it would be really easy for me just to lead people to my website and then hopefully have them reach out to me, which I know is not the smartest business move. But let's see, my other key activities would be, I guess that's really my only thing, is trying to get my customers. I have to get my business license. in the area that I'm in and a state license. And then once I have those and I have my insurance, then I'm just good to go. So.
Oh, I think those are really good. I think social media is an amazing way to advertise. That's where people are nowadays. That's the new way to really advertise, to get people's attention, because people are on social media anyways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think every company at least needs to have a social media presence. So if I look up a company and they either don't have a Facebook page or their Facebook page is barely anything, I'm going, I don't know if this company is very active. And so I think social media is a great way to do it. And I'm not good at this, but there is a right way to advertise on social media and a wrong way. And I don't know what the right or wrong way is, because we've tried advertising and just by boosting our posts and we get nowhere, we get nothing. Mm-hmm. So, but there's some people who make tons and tons of money by advertising. So it's definitely a good way to do it if you know kind of the tricks about it.
Yeah. Do you think it's a viable business?
I do. I think, I mean, home organization, I think it's a good business to begin with because a lot of people need it, but also the minimalism thing. I think that's something that some people are interested in with the new generation. I mean, they still want things, but they also want to travel more. They want, you know, not things, they want more experiences. And so helping them to minimalize, I think that's something that there's definitely a market out there for.
Right. I've also gone down the avenue of, it's this new trend called death organizing, where an older couple, maybe they're getting ready to move into a retirement home or into an assisted living type, you know, community, and they need to downsize their home so that they're not leaving all that to their children once they pass away. And so it's kind of this new trend of death organization. And I've really seen a lot of interest in that, especially from my friends who've gotten, who have, their parents have both passed away and they've just been left with this huge estate and tons of stuff that their parents accumulated, and nobody ever did anything with them. And these, you know, these, our generation, or the next generation, I guess my parents' generation, are now having to deal with these homes and all this crap. And so it's really turned into something I think as a viable business in and of itself.
I think that's really good, especially because people are starting to pre-plan and prepay for their funerals. So that could be, you know, a key partner. Funeral homes, they could say, hey, and we have this service where they can do that too. Because I mean, I've thought about my grandma's house. You know, she's not close to passing, but she's definitely getting closer. And just thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in that house.
Yeah.
So nothing
that's my goal, is not to leave my kids with that.
But I think our generation's different. I mean, you think about the generation that's passing away now. They were they had just come out of the Depression and World War II generation. They didn't have a lot of stuff, and they just held on to everything. And so that's who's passing away right now, and they do have a lot of accumulated stuff.
Crap, it's okay. A lot of accumulated crap.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, none of the old ones are here, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all I have really. All right. So what else? What else do we need to discuss so we can? Is that it?
I'm gonna look at this. This is one of our lengthier interviews, guys. I've thought about just posting posting on the Facebook page just saying, hey, you know, let's have a weekly meeting, you know, Wednesday at 6 or whatever. Let's have a weekly meeting, and those that can come. Those that can't, then don't. And we can just talk about interview. Because he says we can interview people more than once. Who is your teacher, Andrea?
It's, what's his name? Romney.
Okay. How is he?
I like him. I think he's good.
Is he tough?
I don't think too tough, because there's some things I'm slacking on. I don't like, because so this is my 20 and 21st interview. I'm doing really bad on that, and he hasn't said anything of, wow, you're really behind, or so.
Oh, that's nice. I've been getting docked a couple points, not a lot of points, just 2 or 3 points, because I don't have, like the one week I only had 5 or 6, and so I got docked a couple points because I didn't have 10.
Yeah.
I think 10's ridiculous, to be honest.
Well, and once we go into groups, are we going to even still be doing 10?
No, we're done with this at week 9.
And then
We do our final presentation at week 9 for this.
We're supposed to have 100 interviews by week 9.
Well, yeah, if you're interviewing, maybe it's week 10, but if you're interviewing 10 a week, then you're done.
Jeez, I've got like 75 more to go. I'm a big trouble.
Let's see, how many do I have that I've actually interviewed?
Oh, no.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and a bunch that I don't have on this list. So I probably got 50. And most of it's not face-to-face, sadly, but
it's the hardest part of this class, I think. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And I've gotten quite a few from the weekly synchronous meetings. So in week, let's see. In week 9, we do our individual final Canvas submission.
Is that our PowerPoint?
I do talk something about a final business model Canvas final presentation.
Yeah, I think it's a video.
It says, congratulations, you have just landed an appointment with your venture capital fund, your instructor, who likes this idea.
Really?
So it looks like in week 9 we are done with our business model Canvas, and then we start on group work.
Yeah.
Yeah, create a video presentation that includes you and your PowerPoint. Okay, start looking ahead, guys. That's coming up.
But then I don't think we have to do interviews anymore, right?
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so that's only 2
For a
weeks.
different project.
Oh, okay.
This is our last synchronous meeting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until week 13.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be nice.
What time are you guys meeting?
I've got to get on the synchronous meeting right now.
Oh, yeah, it starts like in a minute.
Are you going to tonight's? I'm going tomorrow.
I'm going tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Haley, are you going to Brother Romney's tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the one I've signed up for.
One at like 3:30.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm hoping it doesn't take too terribly long this time. The last 2 weeks have been, the last 2 meetings I've been to have kind of turned into a disaster. So.
Oh, really?
Last week, Brother Ellsworth, his internet kept cutting out.
Oh, yes. I was at that one. Yep.
The week before that, Seth had dropped out being a TA and they hadn't taken his meeting off.
And I did that one too. And then I had to do a write-up.
I didn't.
Oh. Did you get dock points?
No.
Oh,
I emailed
well,
them and told them that these people were here. We had a nice discussion, and both the professors that emailed me back said everyone will get full credit.
oh, nice. I should have showed up. I just got the thing that said Seth had dropped it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess maybe he doesn't have his class,
When did
so I
you get
didn't
a
come.
thing that Seth had dropped it? I never got an email.
Maybe it was part of the announcement on the page or something.
Because that was the week after that they announced it.
I think I got an email or something. I got something that said that he dropped it and there wouldn't be a meeting that week. And so I didn't show up. So, yeah, I wish I would have now. I wrote a paper. But
I never
yeah,
saw
I
any
like
announcement that, because the week after, like the Monday after or whatever, he posted, Seth has dropped, let's see, where is it? Last week our TA Seth withdrew from the section and we'll miss him. I don't think they announced it previously.
Yeah, and I got something that said,
yeah, all I got was he is entering the last thing I got about him was he is entering 3 and 4 grade lesson 3 and 4 grades.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure where I read it. I read something, and so that's why I didn't show up.
Yeah, I conducted the meeting.
Oh, nice.
Not sure how it went, but I conducted the meeting. I just said, you know what, let's just get started, guys. We're going to do this anyways.
That's awesome. Well, I like Brother Romney's discussions. I really like, yes. So
I like his the best.
Yeah. So that's where I'll be tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you there then, and I'm gonna head out and help my husband make dinner. If you don't have any other questions, that is. If you have other questions, I'm happy to stay.
No, that's good. I'm gonna go beg my family for the rest of my interviews. So.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring families into this, like if we do this next week and everybody can interview everybody's family members.
Yeah, that's right. That would be totally. Each of us bring a friend.
Yes. My husband's shaking his head. Diantha could use her service. Organizing. Yeah. He just said, yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.